Good morning, Tim Sykes here, pre-market, May 15th, 2024. What a freaking market. Congrats to so many of you. I'm getting so many messages from students who are having record days, record weeks, already pre-market today. Don Juan just locked in 7,200. He's in the challenge chat. I'm very proud of him. And then also Sean 95 sold SINT. Locked in $3,700 from 5 cents to the 12s and 13s overnight. SINT is the newest 100% plus winner. I can't encourage you enough to watch this presentation that I did with Jack Kellogg just a few days ago. It's called Jack Kellogg's Next Big Trade. Guess what? SINT was his next big trade. He freaking called it. Every single one of you who tuned in and watched, you got SINT as a free bonus play. Now, what is this? A week later, SINT is popping. So it's not like it popped like right away. You had so much time. You just have to study and you have to really capitalize. This is why I'm so proud of Jack. I just tweeted this. I was hyping up the whole Jack's Next Big Trade event. I said he's looking into his crystal ball. He really is. Okay? This is why I love teaching, because for me, I love sharing my wisdom with people. I love showing you what I've learned over the past 25 years, but a lot of my students are doing better than I am. Jack has made now nearly double what I made in a third of the time. He's now helping me teach. He's giving weekly challenge webinars, and now he has this next big trade. And this whole thing with, Jack's Next Big Trade is big play after big play, and they don't come about every single hour or even every single day. But a few times a month, that's how he's made his money. And in case you don't realize, I'm filming this at like 8 a.m. Eastern. Already today, he's locked in $200,000 plus on AMC, and he's got another $200,000 plus unrealized on SINT. He goes big. He goes, for these aggressive plays. That's his way of trading. That's his way of teaching. So I'll teach you conservative, more impatient trading. He teaches more aggressive, more patient trading. You can do whatever you want. I encourage you to learn from us both, and you take a little something from each of us and you try it. I have to do better being more patient. I still have to learn from him. Jack has become like the master, right? The student has become the master. But I'm going to link this presentation that we did. Obviously, it's not live anymore like it was a few days ago, but at least you can start to understand why he's now made, $12 million, actually more than 12 million now. Now today, literally today, 200,000 realized, 200,000 unrealized. He's closing in on 13 million. Okay. And a lot of people are like, oh, your profits aren't that much lately. Well, guess what? First of all, he was already up nearly $1 million this year, but he's just gone up so much in just a short period of time. So the chart looks like it's going flat, but it's not. He's already made 800,000. Today has now pushed him over $1 million in 2024 profits. I'm pumped. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm like losing my voice. I want you to leave a comment below. Congratulate Jack on his success and thank him for sharing what he's learned and sharing everything that has taken him from, he was a valet, he was a fireman, he sold pillows in a Connecticut mall. Now, Business Insider did an article, he made $8 million in 2 years. There was another article, he made over $10 million in 4 years, and now he's making even more, okay? It's not random. I know the industry says past performance is not indicative of future returns, but guess what? If you're a trader, you're always adapting. And because Jack has the proper preparation, he has the proper foundation, he's always going to adapt and succeed. And now, if you watch this presentation and you join his newsletter, I highly encourage you to learn, because he's not just giving plays, he's also talking about his process. He's already done like 3 or 4 video lessons. It's amazing to see what he's done, and I am so damn proud of him. I'm sorry I'm not on good Wi-Fi. My software is going to probably shut down a little bit. FFIE, by the way, was another one of his plays. He had this a buy alert at 6 cents. It's up to 60 cents. Okay? This was a freaking 10 times winner in a few days. I want you to understand the upside. Everyone's so focused on GME and AMC, and that's cool. But also, I'll go into this video a little later. where, yes, there was money to be made on the upside, but there's also money to be made on the downside. And I'm going to go over a bunch of different traders that just made six figures. I'm here with Lucas right now. Lucas just made $500,000 shorting AMC. The meme stocks are back in play. AMC went up from the 2s to the 12s, back down to the 6s. They did a few financings along the way. There's so much opportunity for longs and shorts. Look at SINT. Wow. Jack is still holding, by the way. You know, like for me, again, I would have locked in the 200,000. He's going for more. FFIE, I mean, this thing went up 10 times from his buy. SINT is only up, what, 3 times or 4 times? I don't know. But we'll see what SINT does. But please congratulate Jack and just thank him. He gave a great challenge webinar last night, or I guess yesterday afternoon. The time zone I'm in, it was late at night. And it's just awesome. You know, I'm so damn proud of him. I'm so proud of you know, people like SHON 95. I mean, upcoming challenge student up 70,000 or now close to 75,000. You know, Don Juan locking in 7,000. 7,200, my bad. Sorry, Don Juan. Now, you know, closing in on 300,000 in profits. Like, this is what we do, guys. Okay? This is why we have so many millionaire students. Oh, here's another one. Trading BWK. Just started in a FFIE in at 27.6, out at 55. So doubled overnight. I want you to understand that in a hot market, and this is like literally what we go over with this whole, you know, next big trade presentation. In the right market, your gains can grow so much faster. I wouldn't be this excited. I wouldn't have done this, you know, presentation with Jack last year or the year before. 2022 sucked. 2023 was choppy. 2024 started off strong. It's been a little choppy, and now we're getting hot again. So I really want you to capitalize. Like, you should memorize everything Jack says. This is a whole like presentation.
Jack's profits have kept skyrocketing. He's now up to nearly $13 million.
So again, now over 13 million. We filmed this just a few days ago, and it just keeps going, just to help you understand.
But it's been over 2 years, and this rare profit cycle hasn't come back until now.
So, you know, people were making fun of this when this aired. They're like, oh yeah, profit cycle, you can't predict it. Yes, you can. This isn't rocket science, guys. This isn't luck. The harder you work, the luckier you get. The better prepared you are, the more money you can make. This is why I teach. This is why Jack now teaches. This is why we trade. You don't have to miss out on these opportunities. It pisses me off when people don't respect their teachers. They don't respect education. They don't respect themselves. You only hurt yourself if you don't actually study. You hurt your future self. You hurt your family by not studying. Take advantage of this stuff. I wish I could come through this laptop and just wring your neck or smack you in the face, or, you know, maybe not violently, but like get you to understand, maybe shake you, right? Like, we are real in an industry full of frauds, okay? 90% of traders lose. 99% of gurus out there are full of crap. Instead, we're teaching real stuff with replicable strategies where you don't have to be a math genius. You don't have to be that smart. You don't have to wake up at 4 a.m., okay? This is a strategy for average people. Jack and I are average people. Look at this. This thing is going to the 14s right now. Watch this. Look at that. Just 8 through 14. Jack is long this right now. He's still hodling. It's freaking awesome. This is hitting new highs. I mean, he might be up 250,000. Like, once you start to understand the upside, it's laughable. Look at this. It's going to the 15s now. Holy crap. It just ate through the 15s. Are you seeing this? This is a new high. Now, oh my God, I turned away for a second. It's at 16. Jack is still hodling this. He might be up 500,000 now today. He might be up 600,000. This is the market. I'm showing you this freaking live. This is outstanding. This is unbelievable. And you have an opportunity to learn from the few of us who are actually freaking real, making 6 figures in a day. Are you kidding me? Understand he's sized up. Understand that's not going to happen to you right away. But I'm here with Lucas. He made 500 grand yesterday. Jack is roughly up 500, maybe even 600 grand right now. Like, the money is stupid once you get prepared. And I have to do better, okay? I'm yelling at you, but I'm yelling at myself. I had a chance to do this, and I didn't do it. I've been focusing on higher price stocks. But this is just awesome. This is so freaking awesome. Hold on. Let me congratulate Jack. All right, what's up, everybody? Tim Sykes here, pre-market video. Want to go over my plays from yesterday. First of all, you should watch this video about Jack and his dead-on plays on SINT, FFIE, AMC. He ended up, I was literally like filming this video lesson when he was in the middle of a trade. It was pretty cool because we saw SINT breakout live, so definitely watch this. I'll link this video. But he ended up making about $500,000 yesterday. In one day, which is just insane. You know, now he's closing in or maybe even over 13 million. This is a guy who started with a few $1,000s. Remember, he was a valet watching my videos on YouTube, joined my challenge, lost $10,000 roughly for the first 18 months, but all the while he was learning, optimizing, and now, several years later, 13 million and, 500 grand in a day. Like, I want you to understand this is possible for any of you. Jack will be the first to admit that he's not that smart. He's not the math genius. Neither am I. But we're making millions because we find patterns that work and then we really size up. And Jack has been able to size up much more than others because he's so in tune with his data. And it's really amazing. And I really encourage you to watch this video from yesterday and watch the presentation that we did about Jack's next big trade. The free pick that was given was SINT. SINT. Well, now he has GWAV, which is crazy. GWAV is his latest play, and it's already up 70% pre-market as I film this, which is just crazy. It's down a little bit off its highs. I think he already sold it actually. But SINT. I mean, what was his pick at, like 2 or 3 cents? It was something ridiculous. It was something like, it's just crazy. It's crazy how far these things are going. And really congrats to, Jack and everybody who traded SINT and FFIE. I mean, Jack's playing at FFIE. And granted, he sold too soon. Like, he had FFIE, I think, at 6, and I think he sold it at 9 cents. And it just, hit 98 cents. So, why are things going so crazy? This is like one of the top questions I'm getting right now. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm here with Lucas. Lucas is a short bear. He actually made $500,000. Not yesterday. He made like $140,000 yesterday. But Lucas is only 23, 24. But he's been trading now for nearly a decade. Like, he was so dedicated, he sold his video games in order to really trade. So he was ahead of the game. But this is a great tweet where Stanley Druckenmiller sold 3/4 of his NVIDIA and he bought IWM calls. IWM is the small cap index. So pretty crazy, dumping NVIDIA, which is, the strongest stock in the entire world in the last few years. And Druckenmiller is one of the richest traders in the world, one of the smartest traders in the world. So he's dumping the hottest stock in favor of small caps. So I want you to understand, like, part of this thesis that we had with Jack's next big trade is the fact that there's going to be a new profit cycle with theoretically lower interest rates, and small cap benefit the most. So we said that, and Druckenmiller agrees, and really every single one of you should understand, like, this is why this is the time to push it. Okay, leave that comment under this video. Say this is the time to push it. Because it's crazy to me that so many people are unprepared. The excuses I get why you can't watch this free presentation that Jack and I did. Like, watch it, study it, take notes. Obviously, the play is old now on SINT, but it's kind of cool because you can go back and that his main play was really hot. He also had SPZI, which is not so hot. It's not like he wins 100% of the time. Some people are like, hey, what about that play? Are you hiding it? No, I'm just helping you understand that even when a play doesn't work out, this thing is down, like 5%. It did tank for a little bit and then it came back. I'm not a big fan of 1, 2, 3 cent stocks, but not every play is going to be a winner. But, if it's not a winner, you cut losses quickly. If it is a winner, I wouldn't even take profits so quickly. And I need to get in the game too. I'm yelling at myself because I have a $500,000 account set aside for Jack's plays. And I'm really not a fan of these low price stocks because they've just been so weak. But now, with Druckenmiller, with these plays spiking, with FFIE, I mean, this was crazy. This is absolutely insane. It actually came up from 2 cents. Right in here, it's I guess it's like 3 cents. Jack was buying it at 6 cents. So it's not about catching the exact bottom. But 3 or 4 or 5, 6 cents to $1 in 3 trading days. Hello, McFly, wake up. Anyways, watch this video, watch Jack and my presentation. Let's get into my trades. I might not be, making 500 grand a day, but I had a nice $4,000 day yesterday. That's okay too. I'm also here with Eduardo. He's another trader. He made 4 grand yesterday. So Eduardo and I trade very similarly with smaller accounts, lower risk, lower stress. Jack and Lucas go for, the big ones. You can try to be scared. You can try to be more aggressive. I think that you should be more aggressive later in your career, as I always say. But I'm trading these sketchy stocks. EDBL was an earnings winner yesterday. And if you look at the chart, it looks terrible now, right? Look at this 2-day chart. Absolutely terrible, straight down. But in the beginning, in the morning, it was spiking quite nicely. And I didn't catch it on this first dip. I caught it on one of these dips. I think it was this dip. A few times. And, this is the tricky thing. I wanted to do this video because, yes, I profited, but I really profited the most. This was a nice big winner for me. And more important than just the win, I actually really called it to a T. If you were in the chat room, I was buying it at 757 a little too early. Comes down to the 720s. Some people will say, Tim, cut losses, you're wrong. But it was really holding the 720s, 730s quite nicely. And, earlier in the morning, it spiked up from 4 all the way to 8 and came down to 6. So it has this 25% retracement. So it's got a lot of range. And then it spikes from basically 6 up to 9. And I'm getting in here. So this is roughly a $2 a share dip off the highs. And I thought that it just, had a lot of support here in the low 7s. So you don't have to cut losses quickly every time, especially on a stock with breaking news, especially pre-market where it's going to be volatile. And it's a low float, earnings winner. At the time, I thought that it could go to double digits. But I really gave it time. I know this is funny, where, okay, it's a 20-minute trade. It felt like an eternity. And when a play like this is going against you and it's already up big and it's not doing what you want, most people would have cut losses. But if you saw my commentary, and that's why I encourage you to get in the chat room, it's not just about, the trades. If you saw my commentary, I was watching it in here, in the 720s, 730s. And I added because it really looked like it found a base in the 720s, 730s. And then I was like, if this can get above 750, we squeeze again. And I said this in chat, and then, it was a few minutes later, and then it squeezed past 750 up to the 8s, and it actually went all the way up to nearly 9 or above 9. But on this spike, it was right here, and it was pretty crazy. So, if you get these low float plays with a lot of range, yes, it's scary. Yes, it's risky. But you can really bank. And this was just beautiful. Me waiting for it to break 750, giving it time, then selling into the low 8s, even though it went to the 9s. Look at this. This is what's so scary too. I want to show you the upside, but I also want to show you the risk, because right here, it breaks out to 9. And I thought that it was going to go for a home run when it breaks the previous high here at 875, the previous high here at 8. In one minute or 30 seconds, it really squeezed from the high 7s to the high 8s. And then it got halted. And I thought when it gets halted with a technical breakout, it's off to the races. As it turned out, that was the top. And, it gets halted down from 9 to 8 gets halted again, then you're down to 6.6. So this is why you won't see me trade many plays that have these volatility halts. I try to avoid them because even if it's breaking out, even if everything looks great, right here, let's say you buy the breakout and you're like, wow, like eights, let's go for the nines or the 10s or the 11s. And then you just buy into a brick wall and then there's volatility halt. So unless you're fast, you can't even get out. And then it drops basically, let's say you bought it here at 9 and then right here, okay, you get a little bit bounce here at 7, but you lose $2 a share and you really only have like 2 minutes of market action to get out. So if you are trading a low float stock, especially pre-market, be ready to just exit. AWIN, same kind of thing where it had really nice spikes. This was up on fluff. And this was a great lesson too. A lot of people can't wrap their heads around this, especially short sellers who love dilution tracker. For me, I prefer companies up on nothingness because again, the reason why these stocks are spiking so much is just because of how many short sellers there are right now. And because there's such a huge overpopulation of, this really like toxic crowd. It's kind of like this overpopulation of like lepers or like locusts. I'm trying to think of what was that plague in Egypt. Short sellers are like locusts. So when something is up for no reason other than like chat pumps, like AWIN, that's something I want to buy. And that's tough for people to understand because they're like, wait a minute, this is a terrible company. They're going to dilute. Like, yes, because if you're buying this early in the run up, I don't care if they're going to dilute. I don't care if they go to zero eventually. What I care about is that because they're such a bad company, they can spike the most. And we've been seeing this for years now, but really the past few months. The worst of the worst can spike the most and the fastest. So I said like same idea as EDBL, but this one looks like it can run even more given that it's up on complete fluff. And people have a hard time wrapping their heads around this because they're like, wait a minute, at least EDBL, reported earnings is good earnings, but this is just up on chat room pumps. Yes, because I can then recognize this is a terrible company. I'm not tempted to hold it if it doesn't squeeze big. I'm either going for the short squeeze or I'm out for small losses. That's pretty much it. In AWIN, like I sold it at 666. I thought that was just funny because I think it's like an evil company, but it actually kept going. And it went all the way to the 9s twice. So you had 2 opportunities really to sell into squeezes. And this is what happens with the short squeeze. And so again, shorts will say, Tim, look at it. It faded, from 10 down to 5 by the end of the day. So shorts aren't wrong that it's going to fade. Shorts aren't wrong that it's a terrible fundamental company. Shorts aren't wrong for shorting it. And I'm grateful because guess what? When they short, especially too aggressively, that creates this huge upside. And especially it's fast upside, which I really like because I have friends in town, I have family in town. It's really a crazy schedule. So I'm not looking to sit in front of the computer and trade all day. And I think that's a good way to be. So, part of the reason why I took so many quick profits is because I didn't want to be there in front of the computer. And I think that's a good way to think. Jack Kellogg was literally flying and he only made like 500 grand, I think, because he was pissed that Lucas made 500 grand the previous day. And he was like, screw this guy, I'm going to do better. And it's like that competitive spirit where Jack, yes, he's trading bigger, but he's also trading good patterns based on data. So many of you want to be competitive and you're like, oh yeah, screw Tim and Jack, I'm going to go bigger. But you don't have the data and you don't have the experience. So I wouldn't get too competitive early on. But later, after you have enough, experience, enough know-how, a big enough account, and data galore to back up your thesis, by all means get more aggressive. But in the beginning, just learn from Jack and I, okay? Whether you try to make 4 grand in a day, whether you try to make 40 grand, whether you try to make 500 grand, there's so much opportunity. And that's really why I want you to understand how huge this is with Druckenmiller, going in the small cap index. Like what? Selling NVIDIA for small caps? So as crazy as FFIE has been, SINT, AWIN, EDBL, whether they fade or not, whether they crash or not, guess what? There's going to be a lot of range and a lot of opportunities. And if you do like short selling, God bless you. Okay. I always say we need more short sellers and I hope you have the biggest bank account possible so that you can get squeezed the most too, and sacrifice your account in favor of us longs. I say it jokingly, but I also kind of mean it. I love short squeezes, right? I love promoters. I love short squeezes. I love all plays with range, because that is what Jack has made his millions on. That's what I've made, my millions, and now lately 6 figures as I trade smaller and safer. So I think that's a good way to be for you guys. But so much opportunity. So every single day, you should just be focused on the big percent gainers. These are low float runners. Yes, they faded by day's end, but I would really caution you against short selling, because you never know how far they're going to go. They might go, fade by day end, or they might run like FFIE and go up 20 times. So I'm just going to keep buying these, but get in the chat room, because a lot of these plays are so quick, and it's not just about my trade alerts. It's also my commentary ahead of time. And I'm giving commentary, like I'm saying, like potential dip buy coming, like watch for a short squeeze. So this is the time to push it with your education. Also, watch this video lesson that I did about Jack's $500,000 day, and then also watch this presentation we did, and just capitalize. I'll see you guys in chat. Congrats for being around. This is a hot market. Let's do it.